Hi, my name is Joshua Pex. I'm a lawyer at the law offices of Cohen Decker Pex Brosh. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the possibility of obtaining a Portugal passport and citizenship mainly for Americans with Sephardic background. So in the last few years, actually, the governments of Spain and also Portugal are giving opportunity for Jews and descendants of Jews that can prove that they were originally, or their ancestors were part of what is called the Spanish expulsion. Actually, the King Ferdinand and the Queen Isabella in 1492 decided to expel all the Jews from the area of the Iberian Peninsula, which is today Spain and Portugal. And Jews in those days, after living for centuries in Spain and Portugal, were scattered all over the world. And even until today, these Jews that are originally from Spain and Portugal many of them have kept a distinct identity. They're called Sephardic Jews. And today, the Spanish and Portuguese governments, as a type of saying sorry and giving back the rights to these Jews, are saying, okay, descendants of the expellees that can show ties to families that were expelled will have the possibility of receiving citizenship today, and which also grants a passport for both Spain and Portugal. At our offices of Cohen Decker Pex Brosh, we mainly deal with Portuguese passports, and many times we get contacted by different people all over the world saying, well, how can I also get the Portugal passport? How can I prove that I have family ties so many years back? Well, there are different names. The first step is checking according to your family name and seeing there's lists actually of family names, thousands of family names of families that were expelled many years ago. In terms of Americans, it's very interesting that the United States of America was actually first populated. The first Jews that came to the United States were from Sephardic origin. Historically speaking, like I said, after the Spanish expulsion, the Jews moved to all over, but in terms of what is now Brazil, they moved to South America in a city called Recife, and after Portugal took over Recife from the Dutch, the Jews from Recife moved to what is today New York, and then it was called New Amsterdam, which was also a Dutch colony. There at the beginning, the general director of the colony didn't want to accept the Jews, but with pressure of the Dutch India Company, finally they decided to allow the settlement of the Jews in New Amsterdam, which after the British came was turned into New York. And since then, like we know, the Jews flourished in the United States, both Ashkenazi and Sephardic. Actually, in terms of the American Revolution, some Sephardic Jews were very prominent in financing the revolution, and other roles, such as Chaim Solomon, which was very close to George Washington and was one of the main people that actually funded the American troops. And there are also other figures that were very much involved. But if you're American and you look in your family history and you can prove links according to family names and other ties such as documents or family history books, you can show that you're actually descendant from Spain and Portugal. Today, you may be able to receive a Portuguese passport. This might be interesting for you in terms of having the ability to live in Spain or Portugal, also to travel freely in Europe, work or invest in Europe. So if you have any questions regarding receiving a Portuguese passport, we'll be happy to hear from you. Please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.